Good morning, everyone. Today is 12th September. Screen. Yeah.
Good.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let's start the day. I'm having a look at the money control global indices. I was just having some idea about the indices. So unfortunately, it is looking not so good. The US market, Nasdaq is down. Money control gives only Nasdaq. We'll see the other Dow and all. The London market was slightly up, not much. Not even much, you can say. It is as good as flat. The French CAC was down by 20 points. The German market down by 13 points. SGX Nifty. This is, if you see,
normal network for us.
this is as of September 11. That is yesterday night. It was minus 77 points. Okay. So tomorrow morning when it opens at 7 o'clock, about 2 hours before us, we will come to see. But if this is negative, the Sensex is way below. So this mostly it will open with a gap down kind of thing. Nikkei, Japanese, the Taiwan, the Hong Kong, the Kospi, Korea, they are looking positive. Okay, you can see them, but you can see this is 1%, this is 1%, but the 8 times is hardly anything, 27 points. Kospi is also not much. So what we can see is that the market is, the American markets and the European markets are a little negative, whereas the Indian markets are also negative, but the Asians are positive. Okay. Let us see market watch. Here is market watch. First we see the Asian markets. The Asian Dow index is showing green, Japanese is green, Hong Kong is green, Shanghai Chinese is green. The Indian Sensex is also positive. The European markets, American markets, sorry, all these are showing negative, including the foreign exchange and gold and all. The European markets are once again showing negative. So normally the Asian markets close before US and American markets. So Asian markets on Friday when they close, they were before American markets, and then before European and then the Americans. So after the closure of the Asian markets, the European markets and the American markets have closed negative. So when we open up tomorrow, I am finding that there will be a possible gap down opening, but that we can't say. Tomorrow morning is a different day and the markets change on a day-to-day basis. So let's see the Nifty. The Nifty is moving up. It is still moving up in spite of everyone feeling that we are overvalued. Okay, but still the Nifty is very much up. If you see the Buffett indicator, we are at the maximum level till now in the last 10 years, 115.05. What is this Buffett indicator? It is a ratio of countries' market capitalization over the GDP. Means market capitalization is what? The number of shares into the market share price. So if you consider all the shares of the country and all the market prices of individual and we multiply them and add up them, we get the market cap. That divided by the country's GDP is coming as a very high value. The normal value should be something like this. Here it is. It should be in the range of 70 to 80 normally. India's 10 years average is 77.96. It is there somewhere. I will just, here it is 77. Okay, that value has now reduced to, it has increased to 78.22 because of late last few weeks we are going up and up. Now if India has to come to its average, that is the principle of life, whatever goes up has to come down. So mean reversion principle. So if we have moved up to 115, now from 77.96, India has moved to 78.22, the last 10 years average. Then what happens? If we are growing at a particular rate and if the market has to come down, then we have to grow negative. So we have to grow at this negative expectation. So this is a bad sign. And if you see the country's annual return, India is placed very below. See in this emerging markets also, we are just showing a return of 1.4%. So it's not a negative picture I'm trying to tell you, but I'm tell you that be very, very careful because we may end up into a situation where suddenly we'll realize that the markets are correcting and we are stuck up with the stocks. In last 2 weeks, I have reduced my things by 2 lakh rupees. But I'm not jumping into the things. I'm not reducing with the negative sell. खाली मैंने 2 चीज में negative बेच दिया. That is Yes Bank and Vodafone Idea. I had tried 3 stocks: Tata Motors, Vodafone Idea, and Yes Bank. I have learned a lesson that unless we are sure about the management of that company and the future projections, for Vodafone Idea and Yes Bank, there were positive results in last August-September period. And slowly I started accumulating. Suddenly the March results were bad and then we started realizing that the things are going out of phone and court did not allow Vodafone to come out. They did not give any kind of leeway so that the stock has started falling and now it is like a falling knife which we should avoid to have. It is better to sell it off. I lost some 30-40,000, but honestly, but there is nothing because we cannot keep on waiting endlessly for a stock to improve because otherwise you lose the remaining money also. So that was a wrong decision on my part. So I will be sharing with you what kind of stocks and the methodology today. Then we'll be seeing the ratios part. Okay, so this is not so good. The markets have gone up tremendously. Nifty is going up and up. Every few time period, it tries to catch up and touches the tail of the wicks. You can see that. So here also, somewhere here also a little bit and here. But if you see from last March 20 till now, it is continuously falling. If you see on the day chart, the rise is there, but in between some falls happen and then once again it starts moving up. So this movement is quite up now. So this distance it has to cover. So somewhere it has to start correcting. When it will correct, nobody is in a position to predict because markets have their own logic and own thinking. Okay, nobody can be smart enough to predict anything against the market. So we have to wait and watch and see where it takes us because we have to move with the trend. That is the normal thinking in the market. Move with the trend. And when it starts correcting, be little cautious. See, this is the Sensex, Bank Nifty. Achha, one thing is there that the bank, achha, one more, I'll just take up some indicators so that we have a proper idea. We will have the average, okay. One more. So we are having 9 period, then I'm not keeping these things done in the before because I want you all to start doing it yourself. So I'm showing you every time. So start understanding that you should now be able to do it yourself. Okay. So the 9 period, I'll change the color. And that so we have the 9 period, the 20 period. 9 period is approximately 2 weeks. You can take 10 also, doesn't matter. Some people take 9, some people take 14, 13. Then the 20 period exponential moving average and the quarterly 60 period. The 200 is approximately a year. Now if you see this bank nifty, it is unfortunately not moving and it is way below the nifty. If you compare with the nifty here at the top, you'll find the bank nifty is way below. Bank nifty is touching the 9 EMA. ओके सो ये अच्छी साइन नहीं है, थोड़ा ऊपर जा रहा है लेकिन ये बड़ा डिस्टेंस हो गया है. बैंक, ऑटो, they all are not doing so well. Okay, now if you take a proper view on the straight tiger, last time it was not working, it went started on after 12 o'clock or 11:30, 12 last week. You can see here, firstly you'll see the 1 week position of nifty. In last 1 week media went up. My understanding of media is I will be avoiding it. I am still having zeal, which is going down from 200 to 150, 170 levels. I'm avoiding it. Energy you can look at. Commodities is a definitely you should look at. Metals is good. Some of the public sector enterprises are good. Infra and realty. Infra is government based, government projects and all. Realty will be a private builders and all, but you'll have to be careful. MNCs are good. You don't see FMCG here. Okay, FMCG is down. A week before that, FMCG was moving up. IT is down last week. Okay, so if you want to see the sectors, the stocks in these sectors, here it is. Media में only 2 stocks went up, Dish TV and Zeal. Unfortunately, ये दोनों में कोई दम नहीं है. If you see the, you can do swing, but you cannot hold it for a long period of time. So avoid it, okay? Because आपका portfolio में अगर गिर गया ना तो बहुत बुरी तरह से गिरेगा. Because all these stocks are. Then if you see realty, I will show you some of this fundamentals of these companies. I have kept it there. Why it is moving up? Because it is an expectation that the housing business will improve. Commercial तो अभी expectation नहीं है, लेकिन housing business will improve. So Shobha, Godrej Properties is where? Yeah, it is down, still negative only. Oberoi Realty, DLF once had a problem, major problem, financial losses, and they are once again coming up. India Bull Real Estate. There is a company, some foreign company has taken over India Bull Real Estate. So there will be future में कुछ improvement होगा. Brigade is improving. Brigade looks to be good. Okay. IT. Now once again this will change every time. Let's see metal. Nifty metal in last 1 week. Hindalco is down. I expect this stock to do very well along with Tata Steel. Please keep this in your core portfolio and start accumulating. It will do very well. Okay. ये बिरला का ग्रुप का है. It will do very well and it will do fantastic. National Aluminium will also do well. Coal India, I am trying to dispose of. It has started moving up. अभी कुछ 145 पे है, around 160 I will sell off my Coal India. I'm holding Coal India since the time it started. वो जब भी वो shares IPO निकाला था तभी. It has multiplied every time, but now I am seeing that last 3 years it is giving me negative returns. I have started churning my portfolio in a very serious manner since last 6 months, and from a very big negative it is today very good, very good rather. It is plus 46%. And I'm looking at 4 portfolios in my family. So all are moving up. That's good. So what I'm trying to tell you is you have to move with the times. You cannot sit with the old things like last 10 years back companies will perform the next 10 years. No, it will not. You will have to move with the times. There were some clippings which was shared by Mr. Masani, and I have shared it with you all. You must have seen the next 10,000 level companies, now 1 lakh level companies, 5,000 level companies. You must have seen the names are not the same ones what you used to see. So things are changing. Like HDFC banks and Kotak Bank and all, they may be moving little bit. If you see the yearly returns, not much. Last 3 year returns, not much. So थोड़ा संभल के रहना. Because if we stick ourselves, or if we are going to go by the past, definitely our portfolio will go down. Okay. So once again, going back to the thing, infra stocks are also not doing so well. थोड़ा ऊपर है लेकिन now one of the stocks which I am going to tell you is look at Grasim and IEX. Okay, CDSL, all those things we already know. Take a very good look at Grasim and start accumulating. IEX भी मैंने 2-3 टाइम बोल चुका हूँ, वो बेस्ट स्टॉक है to hold for a longer period of time. Okay, Grasim is one of the ones, and it is a group of industries under Grasim. Okay, many companies. It is one of the. Once again, it belongs to the Birla Group. Okay, even Vodafone Idea belongs to Grasim, by the way. Now, don't go by this figure. The absolute value of the share is very low. So on a low, the base is less, then it will definitely improve. NAM India is nothing but Nippon India, Reliance Mutual Fund. Once upon a time, it has been sold off. This has started doing well, but I am not very comfortable with some of these AMCs. In fact, HDFC AMC, I have removed it. UTI AMC is also going up, and NAM India is going up, but I have removed those stocks. I'm now concentrating my portfolio on the ones which I'm looking at in the future. I'll send you some 17-18 stocks. Stay with those. Okay. Don't put too much money in many stocks. Okay. Try to improve your consolidation होना चाहिए, holding improvement होना चाहिए, quality of the stock should improve. Then you'll find your stocks will start earning for you on a regular basis. So this every time it goes to the 12 months, so I have to correct it, otherwise I'll be showing you the wrong picture. So this is 1 month figure now. 1 month IT has gone up. Last week IT was down. 1 month mein up hai. FMCG is up. Now in this FMCG also a lot of changes are happening in the patterns. Now you should look at Varun Beverages, United Spirits, Tata Consumer, Godrej Consumer, Hindustan Unilever, okay. Jubilant Food is very good. Britannia, okay. ITC, not so okay. See ITC in last 1 month. तो भी लास्ट वीक में थोड़ा इंप्रूव हुआ है, आईटीसी थोड़ा ऊपर गया है. लास्ट 1 वीक में आईटीसी थोड़ा ऊपर गया है. Okay, I read somebody is mentioning that ITC buy. I am already having, so I am not going to buy. But if and when it goes up to 230, 240 levels, till the time it shows upward trend, I will hold it. But as soon as it starts moving down, I will be the first person to liquidate this stock, because last 3 years it has given negative returns, hardly any return. It is lesser than even your fixed deposit returns. Okay, so you can see here this 1 week mein ITC has moved little bit up, VBL is moved very much up. Varun Beverages is a company which is doing the filling of the cool drinks. I don't know whether it is Pepsi or Coca-Cola. I'm not able to recollect exactly. One of the companies ka largest bottling plant is owned by Varun Beverages. Okay, Procter Gamble, United Beverages, Marico. Marico has started doing well. I don't go into Nestle. McDowell N is also good. United Spirits. Colgate Palmolive hardly moves. Tata Consumer is a good stock. Godrej Consumer Product is a good stock. It is showing negative in last 1 week, but on the whole it is moved well. You should hold these stocks. Tata Consumer, Godrej Consumer. Okay, in 1 month it is moved well. Okay, ये Britannia has started moving well in this. Okay, so my opportunity, it came my way. I have reduced my holding by half, because FMCG will be there for a period of 1 or 2 months. But overall, if you see, the growth of the stock is not much. So it is better to reduce your holding in those kind of areas where you don't see much of a happening. Okay. The Nifty 100, Adani's, I am not very positive about them. Grasim is good. Naukri is one of the stocks you should hold. Naukri is one of the stocks you should hold. Info Edge. Reliance is doing well. I'm reducing my numbers in Reliance slowly and steadily. Coal India, I have not started reducing. I will be doing that. Havels is good to hold. HDFC AMC, if it is okay. Titan is very good. You should have it. ICICI Pru Life is good. HDFC Life is good. Hero Motocorp, auto stocks, avoid. Completely avoid auto stocks. Don't expect major changes in the business, especially car manufacturers. So next 1 more quarter till December, I don't see major. Thoda improvement hoga. HCL Tech, you should take. Tech Mahindra, you should have. TCS, all IT companies definitely hold karna. Okay. In the HDFC banks and all, we'll see the banks also. We'll take later. Here it is, private banks. It's not showing me data. Okay, here you can see last 1 month the banks. Nifty Bank has gone up little bit, 1.82%. Kotak is doing well. ICICI, amongst this, all these banks, I see ICICI Bank as the best. HDFC is okay. Axis is as good as ICICI. They are okay. But HDFC and Kotak is actually overvalued. तो थोड़ा ऊपर आ रहा है, लेकिन इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है. If you see the fundamentals and all. So these are the last 1 month, the bank's position. I'm not adding anything in the bank except in ICICI Bank, which is showing good results. Okay. IDFC First Bank, I'm going to liquidate. I'm waiting for it to reach 655 somewhere there. It is at 45, 46 just now. PNB also, it is supposed to be liquidated. RBL Bank is doing very bad. Nikal do. Federal Bank bhi maine nikal diya already. Bandhan Bank and IndusInd Bank, I'm waiting for the right price. So somehow RBL Bank is not doing very well. Okay, the fundamentals are not so good. So it is better if you reduce the holdings in your banks. Okay. In the case of financial services, Bajaj Finserv, and what we say is your HDFC. These three are good. Then Chola, Muthoot Finance, gold loan companies, they are quite good. Okay. Otherwise, L&T Finance Holding and LIC finance companies, most of these companies are basically for the housing loan. Until that, till the time the real estate sector starts moving up, maybe in next 1 quarter it will do. This sector will have a problem because of the loans. Okay, see your Nifty financial services. You can see here, Bajaj Finance is doing very well. Financial services is doing very well. Hold this and accumulate there. I know they are at very high price, but accumulation is required. So जब भी opportunity मिला, थोड़ा थोड़ा accumulate करो. Okay. ICICI General Insurance, HDFC Life. Now all these companies except HDFC. HDFC should be like Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv, so you should accumulate. In this insurance business, sometimes it will go up, sometimes it will go down. The reason is in this COVID period, the business is not doing so well, but the number of new people adding up in the insurance company is becoming a good thing. So that is an advantage. Mahindra and Mahindra Finance has started moving up. Okay, I am having these numbers and I am trying to liquidate this stock because it is not going to do so well. Fundamentals are not doing well. Okay, you can see here Nifty Financial Service के नीचे सब banks नीचे है. Okay, Muthoot Finance is one which has gone down, but Chola Finance is doing well. Okay, much better. Thoda Chola Finance and is costly compared to Muthoot Finance, but you should hold some of this stuff because gold loan and all they are doing the best. Okay. Okay, let's see this. Now in this Apollo Hospital, Fortis Healthcare, these are two stocks which are doing extremely well in the pharma sectors and their business is going up. तो अगर Fortis भी है तो accumulate कीजिए. Reliance का it has become a more of a news based stock. So I am of the opinion that जब भी ऊपर जाएगा तभी निकाल दो थोड़ा, hold something because वो ऊपर जा रहा है आजकल. फिर जब भी मौका मिले तो नीचे जाएगा तो rebuy it. That is the way you will have to deal with Reliance because nothing concrete is happening except buying over, taking over some of the like Just Dial, Just Now, and some other. They are coming up with they have launched this recently on Friday, the mobile phone. All those things are happening. So let's wait and see. Unless and until like demerger happens and Reliance is able to show its big kind of opportunities for the customers, stock is not moved much. Okay. Indigo, aviation industry, better be away. Indus Tower, okay. HFCL, they are good stocks. Telecom में वो अच्छा है. Reliance Jio is also okay. Bharti Airtel is moving up. Okay. BPCL, I am avoiding it. I don't see much in this stock. The fundamentals are very poor, but government is trying to sell off. Now, if you see all these stocks down below, once upon a time, Balkrishna Industry was doing very well. Grasim is also a real, but this is the stock which will move, so be little careful. अगर मौका मिले तो buy करना. IEX is also another stock which you should hold. I'm not seeing. So I've given you a good idea about the various sectors. So let's start moving to the different stocks. This is your Nifty 100. That is the large caps. Okay. It is doing okay. It is above, very much near the 9 EMA. The 20 EMA is the yellow line, and the purple line is the 60 EMA. Okay, 200 mid caps are there in this. Okay, CNX 500. Once again, there are many mid caps. Private banks down, public sector and PSU banks very much down. Somehow people keep on coming out with the stories about Canara Bank and Bank of Baroda. Last 2 quarters I'm holding them, but I've removed my Canara Bank. Bank of Baroda has still not moved up, so I'm waiting for it to move up so that I can remove. So I have started understanding one thing is in this market, you can do swing trading for all the stocks, but you cannot do anything like a portfolio building except some 15-20 good stocks. Otherwise, all baki सब swing के लिए रखो and don't add up into your portfolio the mid cap stocks which are very pure kind of not so doing well. तो वो सब stocks को निकाल दोगे वो better है आपके लिए. Unnecessary ज़्यादा hold करके फायदा नहीं होने वाला. This is the IT stocks. They are doing very well and definitely you should be accumulating them. Metals are also okay. अभी थोड़ा down है, consolidation हो रहा है, but started moving up. Okay, so it is not in a very bad position. Like last week also metals started moving up. You will be able to see movement in the metals. This is a weekly chart. एक वीक पहला नीचे था लेकिन लास्ट वीक में वापस वो ऊपर आना चालू हुआ. So metals are good. Okay. Auto not so good. You can see this weekly chart. Auto way below Nifty. FMCG निफ्टी से काफी नीचे है, ऊपर जा रहा है. Many big investors have started moving their investments from some stocks, mid caps to FMCG. That is the normal trend when expectation is there that the market will correct. Media once again way below. Don't touch media. कुछ ज़्यादा थोड़ा दिखाएगा ऊपर जाने का, फिर वापस गिर जाएगा, फिर वापस बहुत टाइम के लिए नीचे रहेगा. So it does not move below this line. Okay. So आप ज़्यादा मीडिया में जाना मत. Pharma, okay, is doing better, but of late, pharma is not so well. Okay, you can see here also in the day chart also it is थोड़ा ऊपर गया फिर वापस अभी वो correction मोड में है. Realty, these stocks keep moving up and then थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि ये स्टॉक्स में भरोसा नहीं होता है because builders and all they do a lot of manipulations in the pushing up of the business. I read an article which said that many builders were saying that the housing का bookings हुआ है, बहुत अच्छा booking हो रहा है. But one way they are saying that, but if you see the statements, the actual, if people pay some 10% and then people are showing this big bookings are happening, but actual sales or actual deliveries are not happening. So we'll have to wait for some time till the time we are very sure that these stocks are actually moving. Otherwise, what will happen? We will be holding a stock which will ultimately does not give me any. Similarly, infra, a lot of government projects are being announced, but कितना actually हो रहा है वो देखना चाहिए. And then energy is moving up. Okay, you can see Bajaj Finance, financial services. ये stocks में जाना चाहिए. HDFC, once again good. This is at a low price, very much away from the Nifty, but it will move. Now see the banks. HDFC Bank below, ICICI Bank little better. You can see ICICI Bank is better. Kotak Bank way below. Axis Bank got a lot of distance to cover. NTPC is nothing great about it. FL is a good stock. Once again, FL has started moving up. Now, if you remember, this stock was in trouble for some time, and now it is at 5,059 levels. They have announced a split also. So let's wait and watch. I don't have many numbers, but I will try to see if whether I should accumulate or I should reduce, because I had bought it at 4,000 levels. Okay, so this is minimum I'm looking at 6,200 levels. Balkrishna Industry is a good stock to hold, but since the auto is not doing well, I have removed my holdings. Amaraja Battery, I am trying to see if I get a better price, because I had bought at 900 levels and then suddenly the stock fell because of the quarter results were bad. So I'm holding this stock. Tata Motors, I had bought at low levels, at around 170 levels. So I'm holding it at a positive thing. But at every low, 250, 260 levels when it goes, you should be buying that. And this red band, what you are seeing, is the maximum high you can expect. So this is a supply zone and these are the demand zone. The green bands are the demand zone. So, so just now it is at somewhere near 295, 298. In that level, it keeps on moving. So if you get opportunities below, you can buy it, but don't expect a major movement. Tata Steel, okay, it is now it will start doing well. So काफी 4-5 वीक से वो कंसोलिडेशन सेम लेवल पे है. It is one good stock to hold. Sale suddenly, unfortunately, since a long time, the expectations are there that it will do well, but it has not moved only. You can see it is below the 9 EMA, the blue band. That's not a good indication. So sale में थोड़ा movement का chances कम दिख रहा है मेरे को. Okay, you can see the volume is also not there. Red candles are more. Then Tata Metallics, you can see this stock has come down. Around 30% it is down. I've in fact accumulated a little more, because basic reason is Tata Metallics and Tata Steel Long will merge. And this stock is, once again, when it will start going up, it will go to this level. So if you can accumulate little, it is better for you. Tata Steel Long, this is BSL, okay, Tata Steel BSL. Okay, Tata Steel BSL, this is a company which Tatas have bought it, and now it is they are merging with Tata Steel. Okay. Then Tata Chemicals, stock has started doing well, but I have removed my holdings in Tata Chemicals. I'm not very sure about this company. LXC is good. LXC, TCS, they all are good stocks to hold. This is the stock of the future, so you should hold. Next 10 years, we expect this stock to do very well. Tata Power, I'm having some numbers. I've removed 600. I'm having another equal number. I'm thinking of removing them because I feel that a 140 was the level maximum hai. But still, since it is in the news and every positive news, it goes up a little bit. I'm holding it. BEL I have removed. Okay, this is a stock which has now reached its level of 190, 195 level. So इतना उससे ज़्यादा ऊपर जाने की ज़्यादा उम्मीद नहीं है मेरे. According to me, it won't go much. Still long. This is will be merged with Tata Metallics. So Tata Steel Long Products is a good stock to hold. Okay, this and Tata Metallics will be merging together. JSW Steel, unfortunately, there are some problems in this company in the form some internal problems are there in the management, family issues. So JSW Steel is actually lying at the same level. If you see, this stock is as good as Tata Steel stock, so one should hold this stock. Okay, Hindalco, one of the good stocks for aluminum point of view. It is as good as your Tata Steel, but this is in aluminum industry. Okay, so there was a supply zone which it has already broken it and then gone up. I'm holding this stock and I'm building up my accumulation in this stock because it is going to be a very good stock. Another one which is missing here is National Aluminium. I've added some stocks. National Aluminium. You can see National Aluminium is also as good as Hindalco, but the price is way below. ये भी एक अच्छा stock है. It was in the news recently for Vedanta having some approached the government to buy this stock at some 150 rupees. So if Vedanta is going at buy at 150 rupees, expect this stock to go up. Okay. So मेरे हिसाब से not only because of that news, this news has come recently, but the stock is in good shape and the opportunities are very high in this stock. So definitely you should have this aluminum stock. Okay. Then Lux Industry was a swing stock which I had suggested earlier. It has gone up from 2,500 levels when I had suggested. Now it has gone to 3977. I don't hold this stock because itna महंगा है. It is a competitor to Page Industry. By the way, Page Industry has gone down from 30,000 to 27 something. I don't know the exact figure, but it has come down. Hindustan Unilever is moved up. Okay, these are the new buy levels. Okay, little bit of holding है तो अच्छी बात है, लेकिन ज़्यादा होल्ड भी मत करना क्योंकि ये स्टॉक इतना रिटर्न्स नहीं दे रहा है. Now that the market is little defensive, these people have started investing in FMCG stocks like the Hindustan Unilever, Britannia. I have decided that I will keep only this much now, around 50 numbers, and not have more because I have removed some of them because the basic thing is after 3 years this stock has actually moved. 3 years से वो वही लेवल पे था और यहाँ से ऊपर मूव ही नहीं कर रहा था. If you see the levels are same, so now it has moved after so many years. So it is better to have less holding और ज़्यादा कुछ मूव नहीं होगा. Tata Consumer is moving well. This is a stock to keep on buying and accumulating. वो ऊपर जाएगा. They have changed the structure and the company is now moving like Godrej Consumer. This will move. Tata Coffee थोड़ा consolidation हो रहा है, but it will move up. But don't expect much beyond 220, 230
तो
levels.
उधर है कि कोई ना क्या टाटा कॉफी
Godrej Consumer Products,
टाटा
the
कॉफी
stock is doing well. Okay, so definitely you should hold this stock. I'm having good numbers here. When I was in Godrej, I had bought it and that has accumulated now. So that multiplication has happened. Godrej Properties. Now this stock is not doing so well. On paper, it looks very nice, but if you see the fundamentals of this stock, you will see this. Now you can see it has created another demand zone over here at this level. Now these stocks are moving because it is in anticipation that the company will do well. So I'll show you the fundamentals. You will see that it is not doing very well. ITC is another stock which is expected. It is having news that they are going for some structural changes. But this news is since last more than 4-5 months, since April I'm hearing this. But the movement is not much. Nowadays it has started moving. As it reaches 230 levels, I'll reduce my holdings to half because I will invest somewhere else. That is my basic idea. Godrej Consumer Products, I told you. Okay. IEX, this is a good stock to hold for the future. Please accumulate this stock. I have been saying this since a long time. मैं जब भी 230, 250 से तभी से मैंने लेना शुरू किया. But this stock is a good to hold. Grasim is another stock which I am telling you since a long, not a long time, but I have a strong opinion that this stock will also start doing well. CDSL is my favorite stock. Keep buying. उसके साथ BSE है. I am telling you now, add BSE also into your portfolio. CDSL, BSE are moving parallel. They are showing good results. BSE is also showing good results. CAMS is doing very well. All these have become now technology-based stocks, even though they belong to the exchange and all, but still they are based. Naukri is excellent stock to hold. Now you can see this change has happened here. The stock, it has already moved up, very much up. Thank you. So Naukri hona hi chahiye. This is a stock which will go to 10,000 levels. Mark my words. When it was at 2,000 level, 2,900, I had entered the stock. I don't have much of them, but still I'm trying to increase and telling you all. TCS is a good stock. They got a very big project. I believe London में कुछ बड़ा project मिला है. London ITO के साथ, RTO के साथ. Okay, they have got a good project there. I had made a mistake earlier when I reduced my holdings in TCS when it was doing bad. But as it started moving up at 2,500 levels, I've accumulated now. I'll come back to the 100 numbers. TCS is a good stock to hold. Please hold it. Infi is doing bad now, but please hold Infi. Infi is going through trouble times because of the Indian government, this returns portal, IT returns portal. But definitely it is in the bad news just now, unfortunately. But this is a stock which is a very good stock. Don't go by the current position. You will definitely find a great improvement which is happening. अभी थोड़ा down हो रहा है, but it is a time to build up. Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, both are good. दोनों को accumulate कीजिए. HCL Tech भी accumulate कीजिए. Mindtree भी accumulate कीजिए. Please accumulate these stocks. And I am telling you only the fundamentally good one. Happiest Minds, very good one. It is on a flat plane around 1200, 1400 के बीच में है. अगर ये स्टॉक जाएगा ना तो Mindtree की तरह निकल जाएगा. Now the realty sector, some stocks which I don't want you to buy immediately because they are going up, but fundamentals are bad. If they don't do well in the next 1 or 2 quarters, they will come down to the levels which will be very below. So अभी आपको buy करने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर वो improve करेगा तभी buy कीजिए. Because if you buy it now and then it goes down, you will be in a loss. But if you buy little later, you may pay little more price, but still it will be better. IBUL real estate, you can see it is just touching the 9 EMA now. Okay, यहाँ से वो नीचे गिरा है. Okay, this is July 21, it has come down. So be little careful. IBUL housing finance, once again it has gone down. You can see the blue, yellow and the purple band. That is the 9 days, the 20 days and the 60 days EMA are down. DLF not so doing well. Suntech not doing well. Godrej Properties I already showed you earlier. I should put it together. Okay. National Rally. Now any stock you want me to see so that आपका जो requirement है वो मैं any stock you want me to see? Hello? कोई stock देखना है तो मैं अभी देख लूँ. Then otherwise I go to the presentation. Okay, let's start with the presentation. Today's presentation will be useful to you because you will be looking at how to integrate how the P&L, balance sheet and the cash flows are linked to each other. So I have taken a small example. Your name has been changed, but it is something. Money wise, we were not doing so well because these businesses don't move so fast for the first 3-5 years because there is a lot of expense which is involved. So unfortunately, so approximately 1% per month is the interest on a borrowing of 1 lakh and a starting of 1 lakh. I'm showing you how to do the various entries. So on the balance sheet front, my cash assets is 2 lakhs. How 2 lakhs? 1 lakh of my own and 1 lakh of my borrowings. So equity and borrowings are there. So on the liability front, I'm showing owner's equity is 1 lakh and borrowings are 1 lakh. So left hand side is 2 lakhs, right hand side is also 2 lakhs. Now, as a owner, we will think of having a food van. This is an extended thing. We were not having food van. I've just taken this example so that I can show you the various transactions. So we thought of about a food van, and the food van is a second-hand vehicle which we have bought, and the cost of that vehicle is around 1,20,000. So out of the 2 lakhs cash, what we have done, 1,20,000 is the food van and 80,000 is the cash. So that makes it 2 lakhs. Owner's equity is 1 lakh. Long-term borrowings also 1 lakh. So total is 2 lakhs. So on the assets and liabilities, we have 2 lakhs each. So what we have done, we started a business of 1 lakh own equity, 1 lakh borrowed equity. Then that 2 lakh cash में से हमने क्या किया, 1,20,000 का food van buy किया, second hand vehicle and a cash of 80,000. So now we start the business. So for the business to start, I need some food raw materials. So we bought raw materials worth 20,000. Forget this E and all these alphabets. It is a linking so that I can show you later how the items are linked in the various statements. So inventory of 20,000 was the raw material which was bought. The raw materials inventory or the semi-finished inventory or the finished goods inventory is nothing but the inventory which comes in the asset side of the balance sheet. So we have now the 80,000 ka 20,000 reduced ho gaya. So the cash is now 60,000. Inventory is 20,000, which is my raw material, and the food truck was 1,20,000. On the liability side, we have the owner's equity 1 lakh, that is our own money. Then the borrowing of 1 lakh, which makes it 2 lakhs. So we have the left hand side equal to the right hand side. Then we prepared a menu of chicken sandwiches, veg sandwiches at 50 rupees, chicken veg burger at 100 rupees, tea or cold drinks at 40 rupees, etc. etc. So we started the kitchen, the business has commenced, the food van is selling daily snacks. We are going to allow both cash sales as well as credit sales. How credit sales? We are selling it to some other shop, which is in turn selling our products, and they give us the money after some days. Okay, that is the accounts receivables are there. So here we have the sales for a day. This is for a day. So 200 quantity of 50 numbers. So 10,000 cash, 40 rate is the 40 and 50 numbers. So 2,000. Now this was sold to some shop AAA for a resale. So he sells it at some number and I give him this as a credit sale. So 2,000 is the credit sale. Similarly, veg burgers 4,000 cash sales, coffee, cold drinks 4,000 cash sales. So what is my total cash sales? 18,000 and my credit sales is 2,000. So my total sales is 20,000. Now how do I make an assumption कि मेरा inventory कितना use हुआ? Just 1 minute. Now, normally most of us do this kind of assumption that whatever the cash sales we have done or total sales, some percentage of that inventory is consumed. Now this you will know after a long period of time. So we have assumed here 50% of the inventory is consumed. So if my total sales in a day was 20,000, so what is my inventory consumed is rupees 10,000. That is 10,000 rupees of my inventory I have sold. So in the business of this particular food products, 10,000 is the direct expense on the inventory, which is because most of the food products will be the main cost of goods is nothing but your raw material, which is your food items, which is. So we have assumed here 50% of 20,000, that is 50% of 20 will become 10,000. 10,000 is the inventory I have already consumed in selling these products. So what is my cash now? You can see here the earlier cash was 60,000. You can see this 60,000. So the same cash is there, 60,000. Now I have sold cash sales. Sales of 18,000 and credit was 2,000. So add cash sales, which will become 60 plus 18 will become now 78,000. In the next sheet, you'll be able to see that. Okay, here is that 78,000. Accounts receivables. What is this account receivable? The credit sale which I had done. 2,000 का मैंने credit sale दिया, which I have yet to receive. Now, earlier my inventory was 20,000. You can see the inventory is 20,000. Now, out of that 20,000, 10,000 I have consumed because मैंने 10,000 का items बेच दिया. So, what is my balance inventory? Inventory is now reduced from 20,000 minus my 10,000, which will become now 10,000. So what is the balance inventory I am having now? Rupees 10,000. This is an example I created so that I can show the integration of all the three statements. Now, in the asset side, we have two types of assets. Current assets which are less than 1 year and non-current assets which are greater than 1 year. So what is my non-current asset? My fixed asset, which is my food van. Okay. So what is my total now? The total has now become 2,10,000. This is on the asset side of the balance sheet. Now I am going to buy some. Suddenly during the day of that selling the products, I realized that मेरा cheese कम हो गया. The business owner of Aura Food Center gives 2,000 rupees to his servant. अरे ये Amul dealer है, उससे I got a regular dealing with Amul dealer, which was in Mahim only. So I used to buy as and when the cheese and all items in a big numbers. So here I have given an example of 2,000 rupees. So 2,000 rupees का Amul cheese चाहिए मेरे को. I will go to the Amul cheese dealer, but unfortunately that cost was 4,000 rupees. I have taken this transaction so that I have different kind of entries. So 2,000 मैंने दिया था, तो सर्वेंट ने क्या किया, उसका खुद का पॉकेट में उसके पास 1,000 रुपया था, तो वो 1,000 रुपया दे दिया और बाकी का 1,000 rupees उसने बैलेंस रखा. So what has happened now? 2,000 rupees cash has reduced. 1,000 rupees I have to pay to my servant and 1,000 rupees I have to pay to the Amul dealer. So these are the three transactions which are now adding up. So let us see the asset side. The cash is 78. उसमें से 2,000 कम हुआ because मैंने अमूल को दिया. So 76 हुआ. Amount receivables was 2,000. वो वैसा का वैसा ही है. Inventory is 10,000. Now I have added 4,000 rupees of cheese. So what is my new inventory? The new inventory will become 10 plus 4, 14,000. The new adding inventory will become total inventory is equal to 10K plus 4K is equal to 14,000. So what has happened now? My total amount is 2,10,000. Total asset side. So here is the figure. 76,000 is the cash. Accounts receivable is 2,000. 14,000 is the inventory. Assets, that is my current non-current assets is 1,20,000. So if I add up all this, it becomes 2,10,000. This is on the asset side. Now the liability side. Current year liabilities, which is less than 1 year. Accounts payable. Whom I have to pay? My Amul dealer. And I have done some short-term borrowing. From whom? From my servant. उसको मेरे को 1,000 रुपया देना बाकी है. Non-current liabilities, I have long-term borrowings, 1 lakh. Now I have introduced this shareholders and equity. Because of the owner equity, I have now made it as a separate heading. If you remember in your balance sheet on the liability side, we had shareholders and equity and reserves. So here is my owner's equity, which is 1 lakh. Now this becomes 2,02,000. But here you can see it was 2,10,000. There is something which is missing, which we'll see. That is nothing but the profits which we are going to earn during the course of the day. So now let's see some expenses. Every day I expect some expenses because of delivery, fuel, electricity, helpers ka salary. Approximately 2,000 per day is my expense, operating expense. Then I got a food van, uska depreciation निकालना है. So I consider the life of the food van because second hand था, पुराना था, सस्ते में लिया था, only 2 years. So 24 months. So 1,20,000 is my cost of my food van. I divide by 24,000. Approximately 5,000 is the month depreciation मेरे को मेरा income statement में दिखाना पड़ेगा. So per day depreciation comes to 5,000 upon 25 days. I assume 25 working days. To make it simple, it is about 200 rupees per day is the depreciation. I am showing you the whole documents for 1 day. So let's see the income statement. Income revenue, how much? 20,000. Where is the 20,000? The sales which I have done. 18,000 cash and 2,000 credit sales. Less cost of goods sold. Here, what is the cost of goods sold? It is nothing but my inventory cost, which is 10,000. So what is my gross profit? 20 minus 10, which is equal to 10. Now there is a ratio which is called as gross profit percentage, GPM margin, okay, which is nothing but gross profit divided by revenue into 100. So what is my gross profit? The gross profit is 10,000 rupees. You can see this figure. Divide by 20,000, which was my revenue, which is my sales, into 100, which gives me a gross profit margin of 50%. So outsider, the food business must be looking at very lucrative, but when we went into it, in spite of many people telling us not to go ahead, I took the advice of Crown Bakery and many people. But we were very positive, but unfortunately we ended up in a big loss. The reason we ended up in the loss because of sudden COVID coming up, and 3 years efforts went into a zero position. I lost all my people. We trained 4 or 5 of them, and we lost that thing. Okay, so life में कभी-कभी unforeseen circumstances आ जाते हैं, which makes you realize that it is better to quit and take the loss rather than hold the thing. The same thing happens in our shares also. Better to forget that particular share rather than to keep holding and losing more money later. So here is my operating expenses: electricity, delivery, servant fees, fuel, 2,000 per day, less depreciation for food. When we saw the calculations, per day depreciation is 200 rupees. So 10,000 minus 2,000 will be 8,000, minus 200 will be 7,800. So what is this? This is nothing but earnings before interest and tax. Food interest is nothing but the borrowings के तो मैं जो finance charge देना हूँ वो, which is this, okay, which is yet to be shown. I will be showing you later. Now EBIT is 7,800 divided by the revenue is 20,000 into 100 gives me a figure of 39%. So it's a very good figure. You will feel that अरे भाई इतना बड़ा profits है, business बहुत जबरदस्त होता है तो. We'll see that later. Then on the current asset side, now 60,000 was my original, 18,000 cash sales, 2,000 is my operating expense, 2,000 is the cash for cheese. Total cash left is 74,000. Accounts receivables 2,000 from the shop AAA. Inventory left. Earlier it was 20,000, 50% was consumed. Then I added 4,000 cheese. So the total net inventory is 14,000. Now 1,20,000 में से 200 rupees was deducted because of the depreciation for the truck. So now I have asset size is showing me 209,800. Now the interest cost. I have taken a loan of 1 lakh. If I take 12% per annum, means 1% per month, I made it things little simple for me for the calculation. So my interest is 1,000 per month, and per day approximately I have taken as 35 per day. I have to pay tax to the government. Okay, since it was GST was less than 20 lakhs, so we were not in a requirement for paying the GST, but actually income tax I have to pay. So we have considered the 25% income tax slab, approximately 2% per month, and tax per day is rupees 1,565. So if I add up 1,565 with 35, it becomes 2,000. That is like some rounding I have done. So here is my 74,000 minus 35 minus 1,565. That makes it 74,000 minus 1,600. Okay, sorry, here it is 1,565 plus 35 is 1,600, not 2,000. So I have subtracted 1,600, so it becomes 72,400. So my cash, I started with 80,000. At the end of the day, I'm now having 72,400. Accounts receivables is 2,000, which is still pending. I'm having an inventory of 14,000. My food truck is still worth 1,19,800 after that particular day. Now let us see the income statement. In 20,000 was the sales. Cost of goods sold, inventory is 10,000. So gross profit is 10,000. Electricity bill 2,000. Depreciation for food truck for the month 200. earnings before interest and tax. If you add up 10,000 minus this 2, will give me 7,800. Interest cost 35, so it becomes 7,765. Tax 1,565 minus kiya, to profit after tax, net profit will be per day 6,200 rupees. Okay, this alphabets what you are seeing is basically to show you the connection between the three statements. We'll see that. In the liability side, current liabilities, accounts payable, I have to pay to the Amul dealer 1,000 rupees. Short term borrowing, what is that short term borrowing? To the servant I have to pay 1,000 rupees. Non current liabilities, long term 1 lakh rupees hai. Owner's equity, now what is this owner's equity? I have started my business with my own funds, that is my 1 lakh. Profit reserves, where is this money come? This money has come from my, you can see here at the end of the day, per day net profit earned is 6,200. That is going to come over here. Profit reserves is 6,200. So you saw the link between this and the earlier one. So total shareholders equity and liabilities is 208,200. You can see here also it is 208,200. So my balance sheet is matching assets and liabilities. It should always match. So here is my balance sheet. Now my profits are 6,200. You can see here 6,200. But my cash, I started with 80,000. It has come down to 72,400. So where has the money gone? To know that, we'll have to find our cash flow statement. So till now we have seen the balance sheet with the income statement, profit and loss statement. Now we'll see the cash flow. Now cash flow, there are three types of cash flow. We have the cash flow for operation activities, that is operating cash flow. We have the financing cash flow, and we have the investing cash flow. So let's see all the three of them. I started with a net income of 6,200. That is my reserves and profits. That is included income statement A. इसमें आपको मिलेगा earnings of profit and loss statement. Interest expense. Now I have to pay interest on my 1 lakh rupees loan, which is 35 plus 200. Okay. So this is the additional. The inventory converted to cash is 10,000. That is the additional. How much of inventory is purchased? 24,000 total. 20,000, then 4,000 for cheese. That money is going out, minus 24,000. Accounts receivables, 2,000. I am supposed to receive, but I have still not received. It is shown negative because I have not received that money. I have yet to receive that money. Accounts payable, I have to pay to the Amul dealer. So total operating cash flow is minus 8,565. All cash outflow is considered negative. All cash inflow is considered positive. I'm not going to, I'm just showing you this example. You don't have to do it. You have to only look at the figures. Now financing cash flow. Short-term borrowing, 1,000 rupees. I have to pay the money to the servant. Long-term borrowing, 1 lakh rupees. Owner's equity, 1 lakh rupees. Interest charges, minus 35. So total finance cash flow is showing you plus 2,965. All short-term and long-term borrowings are part of the finance cash flow. Investment done in food when 1,20,000 has gone, so minus 120. So that was the only investment we are showing. So what is my total cash flow figures? This is what you have to look. Yeah, total has to be positive. So initial cash flow started 0. I was not having any previous year's cash flow. Minus 8,565 came from the operations. Plus 2,00965 came from the financing. Minus 120 from investing in the van. So my net cash flow is 72,400. Where is this 72,400? This figure should be in your balance sheet. You can see your balance sheet mein, assets mein. Here it is. Here it is. You can see here 72,400. So this figure here and the figure in the net cash flow should match. So this is how I have shown you a complete integrated example of how a one-day business, this का balance sheet, P&L account and a cash flow has been shown. I tried to make you understand the integration. If you want to see the various alphabets, income statement A 6,200. You can see this in the income statement. This is that A. Here it is A. You can see here. Then long-term borrowing, depreciation and inventory cost. These are B, C, D. B, C, D. Then E is my original inventory, which was 20,000. F is the inventory for cheese, which is 4,000. G is the balance sheet assets, and which is the accounts receivables, and this is my accounts payable. This is in the liability side. You can see your liabilities. Accounts payable is 1,000. Here it is. You can see here it is. Short-term borrowings is I. You can see here. G is here. Owner's equity is here. JK, long-term borrowings and owner's equity. So if you see all these are, and this is my interest charge, which is over here also. Here it is, interest charge. So what you see is all the three statements are integrated, and when we have the proper calculations and the income figures, the balance sheet figures, income statement figures, the balance sheet figures and the cash flow, they all are matching properly, the same figures are there, then we see that the statements are proper. So for us to understand this, you may not be knowing how to do it. Believe me, in teaching this course, I have learned a lot in my life. Okay, much more than what I have paid others, because I have explored more and more. Okay, so let's go to the next part of the statements, which is your financial ratios. Okay, so I'll close some of this because let's see the financial ratios now. This is the important part. We'll have some 3 sessions on this. Today is 1 session. Next 2 weeks will be 2 sessions. And along with that, I'll be showing you the various, if you want, I will share with you this worksheet which I am having. I have borrowed it from someone. I got it on the net from somebody. And this will tell you how to look at the statements. Actually, I have hidden some columns here. The reason why I have hidden is I wanted to see the earlier statements. So I will show you the whole thing, then I will hide it once again. Okay. So here is the statement which we'll be seeing later. I'll come to this. Let's start with the presentation. Now, this presentation is very important. And I want you to take the snapshots of this because I have gone into great depth. Okay. Today I will cover only 2 types of ratios. And as we go ahead, we'll be seeing the other 2 and valuation later. When we buy or sell a stock, what are we doing? We are investing in a business, and that we should do it in a proper way. If I were to buy a house, real estate, I will search for so many months. I will try to find out the best of the things and then I buy. So what to buy? You have to look at the fundamentals. How much to buy? You have to look at the position sizing. And when to buy? You have to look at the technical charts. If we don't do all these things, unfortunately, you will buy something in the wrong stock you will buy. Similarly, we are always worried about buying, but we don't understand that exit is very important. It is, according to what I'm seeing in my last 2 years journey, exit is much difficult than the buying of the stock. Because once you buy, you actually end up in having some kind of relation with the love with the stock. Even the people use this language. You will not sell a stock because you have made money, you have actually spent money. and you will try to see that unless and until I recover, like just now I said, ITC, I will try to recover. Now in last 3 years, I'm losing on ITC. So, but ITC is a company which is fundamentally very strong. The problem is because of the cigarette business, which is the main business just now, they have to demerge, but the demerger is not happening because I don't know, the management approach is somewhere आराम से लेते हैं, बहुत आराम कर रहे हैं. But they are losing very badly, and now they have started realizing that unless and until we do that, we will be in a trouble. So I am waiting for that good news because I got good numbers. If I sell at that price, I will lose out. So I don't want to sell my ITC 1200 numbers at a price of 200 rupees. So I don't mind waiting for another 6 months. This is what I'm doing. We end up doing this because we don't want to sell our stock. And when we sell something, we should know what next to buy. We sell a good stock and we buy something nonsense. This happens to us on a very regular basis. Another thing which we see is our thinking is, अरे ये stock बहुत ऊपर निकल चुका है, उसको थोड़ा मैं बेच दूं. This is the answer question which I get from people, and my answer is sell partially only so that you can book your profits and then keep accumulating as and when you get an opportunity in the dip. It is a very important way of understanding that when you are at the topmost, don't think that the stock will go down. Yeah, it will come down little. That will be a correction for it to go further up. Now CDSL, CAMS, IEX, Lotus Labs, they all are moving up. Why? They are good stocks. Okay. Last decade, 4-5 years back, we have seen Alkyl Amines. This year, we are seeing Balaji Amines. Okay, why? Deepak Nitrate, Navin Fluorine. They are excellent stocks. Now we'll be using the financial ratios when I keep on telling you do fundamental analysis. So first thing what we'll be doing, we'll be having a look at the management. Is my management quality good? Promoter shareholding good? This information I'll be able to get it from the annual reports, the con call, the various reports of the various like your ICICI Direct, Motilal Oswal, all these agencies keep on coming up with various kind of figures. Please remember this. You have to do your own analysis also. You cannot go by them alone because many a times somebody says buy and I don't see that it is worth buying at that price. So we see whether the company is growing. So we'll look at some of the growth ratios. Whether the company is profitable, we'll look at the profitability ratios. Today we'll be seeing till that. Then we'll be seeing some leverage ratios, how much of liability or the loans the company is having, whether short term or long term, and what is the kind of debt to equity ratio, ICR, interest coverage ratio, etc. Then we'll see various management and activity ratios that we'll be seeing in the next lecture. So this will tell me how efficiently the management is conducting its business. And the most important thing which we'll be seeing is the valuation ratios, whether we are buying a stock at the right price. Now here there is some debating issues there. Many of us feel that the stock is very highly priced. But today's trend is like this. Once upon a time, the trend was buy at a low price and sell at a high and wait for proper correction and then buy once again. But today the thing is happening like in some stocks the world over, especially in technology based stocks, it is becoming buy at a high and sell higher. Once again, keep on accumulating, pyramiding at every opportunity you get because the stock doesn't come down. Take the case of Lux Industries. I was about to buy at 2,200. I had kept an order of somewhere there. The stock was at 2,500. I waited. Now it is at 5,000, 4,800, 900. So what happens? We end up waiting for a particular stock and we lose the opportunity of buying. Similarly, happiest mind, I have bought some numbers, but it is very less, about 100 or so. Every time I feel that it is highly priced, but when I put an order, I put little lower than the actual price and I try to see my charts. But then I realize that at the end of the day, it has gone up by another 100 points. So now we have to remember this one thing, that momentum growth stocks are something different. Like angel broking, which came out at 320, 360, 600. And I was always thinking that I should buy this. Ultimately, I bought it at around 1130, 1140. Today it is 1260 or 1270, I don't know exactly. But it has gone up. So some of these stocks are moving so fast that valuation ratios are, you can only have a look, but most of the time you'll find that they are not fair value or undervalued. They are always overvalued. So good companies you will not get at a cheaper price. That is for sure. Now this is a picture which you should take. Please go through this minimum number of evaluation criteria before you want to buy a particular share. Or you can use some tools where they give some ready-made ratings. But you should know how to read this. So we'll see the growth ratios and the profitability ratios today. And we'll see a little bit about market capitalization. So growth ratio is here, profitability ratios are here, and we'll see today about market capitalization and the size. Price volume profile we'll see more in technicals. Pledging percentage and promoter shareholding pattern we'll see later. So let us see the market cap of the companies. So we have these 4 basic classifications. Micro cap less than 1000 crores, small cap between 1000 and 5000 crores, mid cap between 5000 to 20,000 crores, large cap above 20,000 crores. Some analysts also refer some names as mega cap. Mega means mega cities, like mega big ones. Those companies are having above 1 lakh crores market cap. Now what is the market cap? Market cap is nothing but the number of shares you own. Into the stock price. So this is the definition of market cap. So nowadays we find that most of the companies are having big amount of market cap. So what is the investment trend? We'll see that in each one of them. I've made a separate slide yesterday night to make you understand the importance of this, where you are investing. Okay, so let's see one by one. Large caps, they are about 20,000 crores. Give me some time for this ratios, little bit more, it will become beyond 11. But I will try to make you understand that it is very important for you. And where you invest is important. And then when you have to exit, that is also very important. Now, if you see in your Nifty 50, Sensex 30, you will get the top 50 and the top 30 large caps. Then you see the next 50, which is also a large cap. So normally about 100 stocks of Nifty and BSE, up to 150 you'll be able to see your large caps. So we have this classification: Nifty 100, BSE 100, Nifty 200, BSE 200. Most of the stocks will overlap. Approximately 213 stocks are large cap stocks in the Indian market. Now there are about 8,000 stocks, but we are looking at the 6,000 good ones. There are many penny stocks. 5 रुपया, 2 रुपया, 3 रुपया, वो हम नहीं देख रहे. What is the evaluation criteria? This is the evaluation criteria I think everyone should follow. You should look at the 5 years or 10 years period. At least 5 years तो देखो, data available होगा. Look at the current quarter, like the last quarter was June quarter. Now September quarter का figure October 15, 10 से करीबन आना चालू होगा. So when the result season start and when you are buying a stock, you have to be very careful क्या आप गलत जगह पे तो खुद हाथ नहीं डाल रहे? Like it happened with me, and I'm being very honest. Tata Chemicals, I was very bullish, but the March results was very good, and suddenly when the June quarter results came, the results was bad, and the stock was about 10 days, 15 days before it was doing extremely well, and I bought at a high price, expecting the stock will do further well. So sometimes we make mistakes, and everyone makes mistakes because what we expect, we are not an insider, we are not having scuttlebutt kind of approach. So we don't come to know about the performance. So when we are buying a stock in the season of results, like in the quarter of, say around 10th of October till 10th of November or 15th of November, we have to be a little careful what we are buying. Because many a times these people, the operators, they try to take the stock up because they have inside information. तो क्या करते हैं, अपने पास स्टॉक का होल्डिंग होगा, वो निकालने के लिए मार्केट को ऊपर लेके जाते हैं. And we end up, we means the retailers like us who are not having inside information, we end up buying a stock thinking that the stock is going to go further up, and then suddenly we realize that stock has performed badly. It happened with Lemon Tree also. I had to wait for 3 to 4 months to remove my Lemon Tree holdings and Tata Chemicals. So we have to be very careful, especially in the result season. Then we have to see whether the stock price is fairly valued, undervalued, or overvalued. Now Motilal Oswal also had the same kind of thing happened. The market was showing very good results, and suddenly when the results came in middle of July, the results was bad. Now I'm holding that stock at a high level and waiting for a correction, and then I will remove it. So stock valuation is very important, whether it is fair value, undervalued, and overvalued. I will show you some simple way of valuing the stock. Some on a worksheet we'll see when we'll do valuation. But that is important that you have to know what is the actual price and what is the fair price. Once you know the fair price, you will be in a position to make some decision whether we should buy or not. Don't go by the recommendations of various people, go by your own thinking. Then we should see whether it is technically bullish, neutral, or bearish. These four elements I always tell you. These four elements I always tell you when I'm looking at the stock. The fifth one is look for the future of the stock. Next 5 साल वो stock चलेगा कि निकल जाएगा. Vodafone idea, I'm not very sure. Even though government is trying to help Vodafone now, but the government has brought Vodafone in such a situation that it needs to have fund infusion. So either parent Vodafone will do, or it will have to. Now even the Birla, that person Aditya Birla has now stepped down from that. So he's no longer the chairman of Vodafone Idea. So what is happening? The Birla family, the Idea group has also washed their hands off nearly. Now we'll have to see whether this stock will be able to come out of it. Most of the large caps will be part of your core portfolio or positional or a swing trade. Here we see the mid caps between 5,000 and 20,000 crores. Look into Nifty 500 and Sensex 500. There are about 270 mid cap stocks. I'm looking at only the 6,000 stocks and not the 8,000. The first four criteria will be the same. Now, look for sustainability. In this kind of problem will be you will not be able to get data when many new companies are coming. You will not get proper data. That data will be 6 months old, 1 month old. Most of the new IPO companies, most of the new tech stocks, whether it is in food tech or fintech or e-commerce or pharma companies like your Apollo and all, your Farm Easy, Tata 1MG, all these stocks are coming up in a big way. But are you in a position to get the data of all these companies? You don't get so easily. Some of the mid-cap stocks which are good and proven ones will be part of your core portfolio, whereas some will be part of your swing. Buy it in a small quantity, wait for it to perform, and when it performs, push it to positional, and then from positional to core portfolio. Positional stocks will be your satellite portfolio. Most of these stocks today in the current position are food tech companies, financial technology like your Bajaj Finance, which is coming out, pharma tech like Apollo Hospital 24/7 kind of. Similarly, we have this Farm Easy, we have now this some of the lab companies also tying up with them. Thyrocare has tied up with Farm Easy, Advertising technology stocks like your FL India, e-commerce platform, Zomato is one of them, platform-based companies. Networking and social media like your Facebook, Google and all. Google is data-driven company. Most of the companies which you should look is at disruptive type of stocks. I'll just take a break of 2 minutes. I'll just go and come back. Disruptive technology is the one which is going to work today. Please understand, always see whether this disruptive technology stock will work. I'm telling you, Paytm is one of them which will coming very soon. Policy Bazaar is one of them which is coming very soon. This stock, but Zomato is not doing positive. Why? Because the results are bad. So Zomato, we'll have to wait whether we should buy it or not. So because what is happening, many of the food companies, they are now developing a similar kind of app. Zomato does not have a background of a food company. Like Jubilant Food Works is having a background. They are already into selling food products. Now, if they build up the ad and make a top layer of the channel, they will be able to do much better compared to the others. Now, please understand that this technology changes are happening. Like this fellow, what is the biryani fellow? Beros biryani. The biryani is horrible. Our biryani used to be 100 times better. Believe me, truthfully I'm saying. But they have a layer on top. They are actually there in many cities. Now, if Zomato also is a delivery person, but Zomato comes into picture if Beros Biryani is not able to deliver. So what happens if Beros Biryani introduces more delivery locations, then Zomato will lose business. And slowly and steadily, more and more food companies are coming out with their own technology layer above it, okay, which is nothing but a CRM software, and they are in a position to deliver at a lesser cost. Zomato charges a newcomer like 30% for delivery. When we don't even get 10-15%, the delivery cost is 30%. So what will be the person earning ultimately? They started with 12-18% and then they ended up with 24-28%. Up to 28%, they were negotiating with us. We ultimately said no to them. 28% देगा 100 में से, तो मिलेगा क्या? 50%, 45% is your raw material cost. Then other labor costs, electricity costs, fuel costs, the gas and all. You end up paying everything, and then you find that ultimately 5% is also not left. So this disruptive technology stocks are the one which are part of your momentum growth strategy. Whatever is in this bowl is what we are looking for. Okay, look for this kind of stocks. And if you see my 16 stocks which I have given you, most of them are belonging to that. One day I will tell you a difference between a valuation strategy which was once upon a time being used. Even today also people like Ashwat Damodaran and all who said that Zomato is worth 41 rupees and not 76 also. He was there on CNBC just 2 days back and he made one statement that I will go for Zomato when it comes to my price levels. And second statement he will say that I will not go for the banks, but I will go for Paytm. And the third statement he made, very important statement, I will go for disruptive type of stocks. Now this is what I have picked up from him, and which I know also, that disruptive type of stocks, because I have been suggesting this stocks since, if you remember the economy mode of there also I talked about networking and technology based stocks. You have to look for these stocks. You have to look for these stocks because these are their next 10 years investments. Like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank. ICICI is more into technology than HDFC also. They will be doing okay, 10, 12, 14, 15% returns. But these stocks will be the one which will give you 50%, 60% returns. I'll just come back in 2 minutes. You can, in the meantime, just go through this small caps. I'll explain you once again. I'll just come back. You can have a look at this. So small caps are between 1,000 and 5,000 crores. You'll have to look for the index beyond 500. Okay. There are about 475 small cap stocks. Be very, very careful when you pick up a small cap stocks. I'm not even talking of micro caps. Micro caps will come later. But even in small cap, you have to be careful because first thing, your data may not be proper. Data authenticity is a problem. You may not get data for companies which are beyond 5 years. Look at the current quarter, previous quarter performance. Look at the price of a stock. Don't get very happy if you see a lowly priced stock. Many of us feel, अरे ये कितना सस्ता हो गया वो ले लूं क्या? Whenever you feel that the stock is very cheap and you want to buy such cheap stocks, think twice why it is cheap. What is the problem? Why has the market thrown that stock down? Don't go by the operators. Many a times the small caps, they become bullish. They become bullish, they go into upper circuit multiple times. The stock is taken to a very high level. We feel that we should buy it. And then it goes down into lower circuit and continuously it will fall and you will not be able to recover your price also. If you have a good small cap stock, keep it as a part of your swing. Push it to positional if it is doing continuously well. Then you start applying, you accumulating that stock, and a good number should be part of your satellite portfolio. Don't fall into the traps of the new startups. IPO application करना रखना कि नहीं. First 3 months you will come to know about the IPO stocks, they are doing well or not. Many startups fail within the first 3 years, around 70 to 80%. Identifying good companies, you have to do very well in the mid caps, small caps, and micro caps. If the IPO company is doing well, look at the stock price in the first 3 to 4 months. It will come down, and then it starts moving up. You can enter. Initially, buy in a very small quantity. Look at the performance for 2-3 quarters. I'm saying quarters, and then you start accumulating. If a stock continuously hitting upper circuit or lower circuit, little bit you should avoid. Micro caps are less than 10,000 crores. There are 3,500 stocks. So avoid करना है, better है. Look at the price valuations. Keep it part of maximum swing portfolio or satellite. Then the remaining is similar. Penny stocks. Here I want to talk to you. Many large caps, mid caps, and small caps or micro caps end up being a penny stock. Avoid them. Don't buy them. We normally want to come out of those stocks. We try to salvage, we try to average downwards. Avoid averaging downwards. In the stock terminology, we say, don't try to catch a falling knife because we'll injure ourselves. We'll end up spending more money. When you want to buy a particular stock, look at the management, look at the last 2-3 quarters, look at the turnaround which is happening, which happened in the case of Tata Motors. But Tata Motors has a different problem, which all full auto industry having, which is their chip problem. So the problem is going to remain for this year, or full year it will go like this. Like you must have heard, Ford has also closed down in India. Stock will jump 100 to 200 and will touch the upper circuit. And when it is moving up, we end up buying at the upper level. And then suddenly the stock will fall. It will fall so dangerously that we'll lose the full money invested. So what we are doing, we have bought a costly share, whereas we should not have done. Okay, so be a little very careful rather to avoid such penny stocks. We'll see the growth ratios. We'll see 2 growth ratios: sales or revenue growth ratio and profitability growth ratio today. These are the 2 things we'll be seeing there. We'll see on the worksheets also sales or revenue growth. You get this information from the income, or also called as profit and loss statement. Compare this figure with the company's historical growth, the peers, the market leader, and the market runner-up. What is the formula? Current year revenue, which is also your sales. So current year sales minus previous year sales divided by previous year sales. In Excel, we can use this formula. CAGR, compounded annual growth, revenue 3 years is equal to revenue in current year divided by revenue in the 3 years period. Close the bracket. Raised to 1 upon 3 minus 1. So this is the formula. Normally we should check for the last 3 years, 5 years and 10 years data, most of the large caps growth will be around 8 to 10% and should be consistent. 5 years data can be around 10-15% and 10 years data will be around 10%. In between, you may find some reason for a particular year the company may be down. So once in a while if it is okay, but if it is consistently going up and down, then you may not be able to get the right picture. So in such a case, look for consistency also. And if you find the company is not doing so well, then you have to look for some other companies. Let us see Hindustan Unilever statement, income statement. Here is the income statement of Hindustan Unilever. This data is taken from Screener using a download of an Excel. Okay. The data is including March 2012 onwards till 2021, trailing 12 months figure, growth in 9 years, 5 years and 3 years. Now I want to see this figure together. So what I'm doing is I'm reducing my number of years in between. I'm hiding them so that I can see the picture completely. So the sales of Hindustan Unilever was March 12 May 23436 and in March 21 after 10 years has become now 47, means double. Okay. Trailing 12 months it is now, this is figure is as of, if I remember it was in August. Operating profit is 11,000. Other income is, if you can see, it's 288. This will be shown at the end of the year. EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. So you can see interest is below, depreciation is below, depreciation and amortization is normally together, tax is here. So all this are yet to be subtracted, therefore it is EBITDA. PBT is here and PAT is here. And this is the number of equity shares we are holding, around 235. And the price of the share is, when I had taken this download in March 21 it was 2432. Now what is the growth? In the 9 years the sales have grown by 8%, 5%, 10%. So our understanding is it should be at least around 8 to 10%. Chalo, ye nikal gaya. Profit is 14%, 14%, 16%. Okay. Sales minus expenses is profit. EBITDA figures is 13%, 13%, 15%. Profit before tax 13, 12, 13. Profit after tax 12, 14, 15. The price has increased, the stock price has increased by 22% in 9 years, 23% in 5 years, 23%, 22%. Here are my ratios. So March 21 it was here. It was negative operating margin. Net operating margin, tax payout, ICR, we'll see this, earnings per share and PE. Now I will take you through the, what we saw just now was only the revenue growth. Okay, what is the revenue growth? Which is my sales growth. So what is my sales growth showing? Sales growth is showing 8%, 8%, 10%. So in 3 years time it is 10%. So it has passed the sort of a screening criteria. It is a large cap sales growth of 82% and it should be consistent. And I am seeing that it is consistent because whether it is for 3 years or 5 years or 9 years, it is showing me consistent return about 8 to 10%. Okay, so the first profitability, I mean the growth ratio is good enough of the revenue. Let's see the profit point of view. The profit growth, current year profit minus previous year profit, divide by previous year profit. When we say the sales growth, we are looking at the top line of the company. When we say profit growth, we are looking at the bottom line. So what is profit growth? The net profits which are happening, are they increasing or not? Is the company profit increasing or not? The profit growth should be in the range of at least 10% and should be consistently improving. If it is not improving consistently, if a turnover is increasing but the profits are not increasing, which happened last year because of the increase in the raw material prices. So if the profit growth is good, it means the company is growing, the expenses are under control. But if the turnover, only the revenue is increasing and not the profits, then it can also mean that the expenses are increasing. The company may not be making that much profits. So let's see for Hindustan Unilever. Operating profit. What is the operating profit growth? 14, 14, 16, very good. EBIT ratio is also 13, 13, 15, very good. Profit before tax is also good. 13, 12, 13, very good. So what we see overall, the income statement tells me the sales growth is also good. The profit growth is also good. Let us see some other company. Tata Steel. First we'll make the columns so that we can properly have a look at it. So here it is. This is Tata Steel. Tata Steel is a cyclical stock. So last 3 years back it was not doing so well. But now you can see the stock is doing well. All the metals are doing well. And therefore you see a difference in the company's growth currently compared to the previous years. Now here you can see so what is the sales of Tata Steel? March 12 it was 132, it has increased by 153. So if you see in the 10 years period, around 9 years period, it has increased only by 2%. In 5 years, prior to 5 years, it has increased by 9%, and last 3 years it has increased by 8%. So if you see, company is doing okay. But why it has gone up now? Because the cycle has changed. The metal cycle has started doing exceedingly well, and therefore we find that the Tata Steel has started moving up. Similarly, the Chinese problem, they have reduced the production So operating profits have increased. You can see here, 10 years is 9%, for 5 years is 66%, 3 years, recent 3 years is 20%. EBITDA is okay. The last 3 years was not so good. Profit before tax is good, but last 3 years में थोड़ा negative है. You can see here. Profit margin percentage, net margin, we'll see that later because अभी तक मैंने वो ratios किया नहीं. So what we see is that last 1 or 2 years, the things have started moving once again. You can say March 19 level and March 21 level in sales were nearly the same, but now it is moving. And in this 6 to 7 months period, trailing 12 months, it has already made 153 and 156 was the yearly figure. Similarly, the operating profit last year was 29, it has already crossed 30. So you can see the company is doing exceedingly well. So in the very near period, the company has started doing well. Plus what we are seeing is the improvement in the metal sector itself, because being a cyclical stock, it changes. Zomato. Here you see Zomato, not so good. क्या करें? पहले तो it was not existing only. So we'll hide this statement from here. So what do you see in Zomato? This stock is not doing well. And what we should do? कहाँ तक हम उसको लेना चाहिए? So you can see the figures. These figures are not available. Last 3 years, sales increased by 62%. Profits have increased. Okay, now if you see these figures here, 19, 20, 21, sales are increasing. Profit is increasing, but it is still negative. You can see that 2243 minus 2305 minus 467 minus. What does it indicate? It is still going in a loss. EBITDA, negative figures. Profit before tax, negative figures. Profit after tax, negative figures. Now, supposing, like big investors, I invest in this stock, and in next 3 years time, the stock doesn't do well. What will happen to my investments? ये सब नुकसान में हो जाएगा. So, as I was telling you, Zomato and all these companies which are the new age stocks, we should buy at the appropriate time, even if it is we have to pay little more. It doesn't matter. Take some other example of CDSL. Here is CDSL. It is a depository of BSE. See the sales growth, 15%, 23%, and last 3 years, 22%. But if you see in last 1 year, because of the COVID, the CDSL increase in sales is from 214 to 344. It is approximately around 40% plus. 19 to 20, it was 196 to 215, hardly 10%. But from 214 to 344, it has gone much, much ahead. Similarly, you can see your EBIT has increased. It is like your PBIT. Here is PBIT has also increased. 136 to 260, 272 would have been double. Profit after tax also nearly 70-80% more. So what do you see? You see this CDSL is a very much growing company. So how do you get these figures? What I have done is I have loaded my worksheet my worksheet on this company in the screener. So here is the screener. Supposing I want Grasim ka worksheet, I will write Grasim here. So it is showing Grasim. I will say export. First you have to upload and then we can export them. Here is Grasim and then get my worksheet. Okay, I already done it today. Morning only I did it. Now if you see Grasim, what is my market cap? The stock price is 1598, it is going up recently. PE 17.8. What is my sales growth? I'll get it under P&L. You can see here, sales growth 10 years, 13%. 5 years, 15%. 3 years, 8%. And trailing 12 months, last 12 months, it has gone up by 20%. Profit 7, 14, 16, 71%. You can see this. These are the two ratios which I am seeing. What is my price? The price has gone up by 122%. Means 500-600 का share of 122 में it has gone up by 1598. You can see the chart also here. You can see the chart here. Where is the chart? It has gone to 1598 levels from last year. Only in February also it was around 30, and last year around October it was at 600 levels. So this is the kind of way of the growth of this stock. And please understand, we have opportunity, but buy at lows. Okay, so if you get at this low or at this low, so look at the lows and keep on eyeing the stock, and you can see the volume is also increasing. Okay, the volume has also increased. Last 2 days the volume has increased. Same way I have got my trend line which gives me the stocks details. Since I have bought this subscription, so I am showing you the details. So which is this good? So I'll show you Grasim. All green, so it is good. Financial, valuation and technical. So it is a good stock to buy. Here is the buy position, positive. Some ratios you can see here, 52-week high, it is nearly, it is exceeded. What is the 52-week high? 1614 and we are at 1597. So it is near about there. 1 year return is 78%. Broker targets, it has already crossed that brokerage target. It is a large cap stock, 105 lakhs. 1.05 lakhs is the market cap. Price to book value. Now this is little low. It should be around 3 to 4. This is low. PE ratio, we'll see this PB and PE and all. PE ratio is 18.5, which is not very high. Since it is under 20, I will say it is okay. 0.3 PEG is good. Up to 1 is good. Little bit up to 2 also. Many companies or many all these rating agencies and all brokers will accept that up to 2. And sometimes we find some stocks are PEG 3, 4, 5. Those are very dangerous ones. Okay. Then I see at the ratios. Where is it? Financial ratios. Here is financial ratios. It is not showing me. Now what will happen? We will have to understand one thing, that every site will have a different way of defining that. Here it is profitability ratios, EBDIT, earnings before depreciation, interest and tax. Same thing it is. EBIT. So what do you see? This is a 2021 figure. Here is 2021. And the previous year figures are given. So what you are seeing is Grasim is doing reasonably well. The stock is moving. The profits are better. The margins are good. These are the profits, net profit. Now some of the ratios you will not be able to understand now because we are not done. We have done only 2 ratios till now. So let's go to the next ratio. Now these are the figures which I picked up from Screener. You can see for Hindustan Unilever, Asian Paints, TCS, these are available free. You don't have to buy anything. Okay, because if you have to buy, then it will be for more other requirements. So since I'm not going to do it, Hindustan Unilever you can see here. Go below profit and loss, you'll be able to see profit and loss के नीचे आपको मिलेगा. Okay, you can see this is for Hindustan Unilever, Asian Paints. Click on profit and loss and just go below that. Go below profit and loss, you'll be able to see for Asian Paints, excellent stock. But see, the growth is only 9%, profits are still 13%, 15%. Now you'll say 15% is good for me, it is okay then. But if you are looking at some 40, 50% rise, then this stock is not. But just look at the CAGR. 1 year CAGR, that is stock price compounded annual growth, is 64%. In 3 years, it is 37%. Okay, ROE, we'll see this ROE next time. ROE is also quite good. So definitely this belongs to my portfolio stock. Then let us see Zomato. We'll use some of these tools extensively one day. See here Zomato, return on equity minus 63. The CAGR is not given only because abhi list hua. Profit, it is showing 77% growth. But remember, it is negative numbers are reducing, that is why it is growth. But if you see the sales, 12-month trailing sales has reduced, basically because of COVID. Let's see Godrej Properties. Why I'm not so much keen on buying any of the, even though I like Godrej as a company, as a basically as the management point of view. But Godrej Properties, unfortunately, it is not doing well. See the figures, compounded sales growth, profit growth, CAGR, the price has gone up, stock. This stock price is in anticipation that in the next 6 months to 1 year, it will do well. But if you see the fundamentals as of today, the 3 years growth is minus 22 sales, 5 years minus 18, TTM last 12 months trailing margin percentage is 59 minus it is. Profit growth minus 195%. So what you see? The stock currently you should not buy. See DLF. You'll find something similar. All the realty stocks. आप बाई कर सकते हैं, आपके पास थोड़ा पैसा ज़्यादा है, हिम्मत है, नेगेटिव ले सकते हो तो बाई कीजिए. बट कितना वो आगे जाएगा, वी डोंट नो. सी द रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी. ये कोई रिटर्न हो, उससे अच्छा तो फिक्स डिपॉजिट में डाल सकते हो. सी सोबा, विच इज ऑल्सो कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी. So you have realized what I'm trying to tell you. If you buy any realty stocks in this current environment, and if the market goes down, you will be stuck up for the next few years. Realty business is down since last 5 years. Okay, so India bull real estate. See here, last 3 years return is 6%. उससे अच्छा तो मेरा FD देगा. Minus 30% sales growth, minus 88% profit growth. But what is the stock? The stock has grown by 138%. मेहरबानी किसकी? कुछ करने का मतलब नहीं है. मतलब you can be doing what you want, but be little careful. Okay, so we have seen all these stocks. Let's go to the next. Profitability ratio. Operating margin, we have seen some of the figures. Operating net profit margin, ROE, ROC, and ROIC. Even if you look at the first four only, it is more than enough. This is used to see what is my ability of my company to generate income, profit. Whether my company is in a position to generate some profits. Operating margin, operating profit upon sales, that is my operating margin. If the operating margin is increasing, this means either revenue is increasing or my expenses decreasing. Many companies in this year, because of COVID, they have started reducing the expenses and thereby maintain the margins. So if there is an increase in operating margin, it means revenue is increasing and or it can be both, expenses decreasing. But if the expenses are increasing and the revenue is decreasing or it is remaining similar, then it will become negative. Many FMCG companies are not in a position to increase their price because the expenses are increasing and they have to hold the price so that they hold the top line. If they increase the price, immediately the competitor will take the market share. So operating margin percentage is used for benchmarking one company against a similar company in the same industry. You have to look at the peers every time. So let us see this. Some company like Hindustan Unilever. Here is the figure. Operating margin performs. You can see this figure relatively well yearly. Net profit margin. This is my 21 figure last year, and this is my trailing 12 months. Tax payout. What is this tax payout? Operating profit is basically based on the operating margin is based on operating profit. Means current year sales minus current year expenses divided by the expense part. Now, margin net profit means after the tax. Tax payout is how much tax I am paying in proportion to my sales. This interest coverage, EPS and PE we'll see later, will come in the future. Interest coverage is nothing but how much interest I am paying compared to the sales I am having. EPS is earning per share. This is a very good figure we should look at. Earnings per share is increasing or decreasing, and it is increasing 11%, 12%, 12%. So last 3 years it is 12%. PE ratio. Now this is the one which tells me the valuation. Price of the share divided by earnings per share. Now PE of this share is becoming very high. A good PA should have been around 25-30. But being Hindustan Unilever, it has a good brand name. So whatever the 30-40% extra what you are seeing is basically because of the brand name it is carrying. The same is there with others also. It is not that only Hindustan Unilever is good. If you see Hindustan Unilever with its peers, you will be able to see what I am saying. Hindustan Unilever, and let's see the peers. Here is the peers. Colgate Palmolive. See the PE values, quite high. Now here I have not paid any subscription, so I am not able to see more. So I will go to my pen line where I have paid the money. So I can see financial ratios. Here is the peer. They are showing in the chart form. So okay, let me make it Hindustan Unilever first. See here, Hindustan Unilever is the market leader. Who is the runner-up? So the market cap is this. Godrej Consumer Products is the runner-up. It's the second ranking. Dabur is the third. Marico fourth. Colgate Palmolive fifth. PGHH, sorry. Here is the figures. There it was showing 79, here it is showing 80. Thoda difference है. Godrej is 65. Dabur India is 64, 63, sorry. Okay. So these are the ways in which you do a comparison with the peers. So peer comparison is very important for every stock. So this is my operating profit margin. Then we can have a look at PBT and PAT. Net profit margin, normally we always look at net profit margin. But sometimes when we do valuation of stocks, we do PBT, profit before tax percentage. All these percentage stocks are nothing but the denominator is the sales. The denominator is the sales or revenue. Okay. So PBT percentage or PAT percentage or net profit margin, they all are PBT divided by sales or net profit divided by sales. For valuation purpose, we use PBT percentage. For screening of stocks, for our picking up of stocks, we use net profit or PAT percentage. ROE is a very important thing. It is nothing but the net profit divided by the shareholders' equity, number of shares you hold. ROE above 15% is good. Above 18% is excellent. These figures you note it down, please. Sometimes back somebody was asking me, please note down your figures. This figures is what will be. I'll be showing you a screening. There is a screener which is there based on fundamentals and technicals. Once I finish the fundamentals, I will take through a screener and I will tell you how to shortlist your stocks. Okay. So if ROE is less than 8 or 10%, then it is not investing. It is not worth investing. You can as well invest in FD. ROE 25% means excellent. Means what does it mean? If you have invested 100 rupees in a stock, then the returns will be around 25%. Whenever you use ROE, compare with the industry and the peers. ROE of the company should be much better than the industry average. Okay, but there is a drawback of ROE. It does not consider the liabilities. Hence, we use ROC. We'll see this example. A company A, I've taken this example so that you make an understand why we need all this. A company A, little bit I'm about time, so I'll take another half an hour, but allow me to do it. ROE is net profit upon shareholders' equity. Net profit is 20, so my ROE is 20 upon 100 into 100 will 20%. Now, if a company has shareholders' equity plus it has long-term debts and short-term debt. So if instead of 100 rupees, I am 80 as my equity and 20 as the loan amount which I have taken from somebody, then what is my ROE? My ROE will become 20 upon 80 into 100. So what does it indicate? It tells me that my company is now, company B is making a profit of 25% compared to company A. So what does it mean? Is it that the company B is much better than company A? No, company B is running in a similar manner, but only thing, the investment has changed. And if you manage the loan interest part properly, the company can do much better than company A. Let us see one more example. Now that B has revised, instead of 80-20, it has become 60-40. 60 is equity and 40 is the loan. Now what is going to be my ROE percentage? 20 upon 60 into 100. So instead of 25% previous, it has become now 33%. So is company B1 better than B? Definitely. Why? Because it is able to manage its loan. But now there will be a point where if I take more loan, here you can see 40-60. 40 is equity and 60 is loan. And if my interest of loan is much higher, then what happens? I may end up making losses because I have to pay back the interest on the loan, and that interest will start increasing. So many a times you have to look at what is the borrowings of the company, that is the debt position of the company. There is some called as debt to equity ratio, which should be less than 1. If the debt is very, very high or it is continuously increasing, it will find it very difficult to pay the interest from the earnings of the company. Company will not be able to carry forward its operations. So debt up to a limit is good, but beyond the limit, that company will become a sick business, and one fine day it will increase higher and higher ROI. You may increase your debts, but the negative side is your capacity to pay the interest is important. When the interest from borrowing is increasing, then the profit of the company will not be sufficient to pay the interest. Hence, the company should have a proper balance between the equity and the long-term debt, and that is why the debt to equity ratio should be 1. ROE is not the answer to the company's performance. ROE alone is not the answer. We have to look at ROCE. So here we see the last ROCE is profit divided by what we do. In the denominator, we take shareholders' equity plus long-term debts plus short-term debts. Now this is the one which tells me in the denominator I have considered the debt also. If ROCE is greater than 15% like ROE, it is good. If it is less than 8 to 10%, it is not worth investing. High ROE and high ROCE both are good. Low ROE and low ROCE both are bad. If ROCE is greater than ROE, means the company is using the debt in an intelligent manner. But remember this, you cannot keep on increasing your debt. ROE and ROCE should not go haywire. Around 15-20% it is good. But दोनों एक ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि ROE 20% है and ROCE 18% है, 15%. If there is a large difference, then there is a problem. Then we have one more ROIC, which is okay. Many of us don't look at it. ROIC is nothing but return on invested capital. The formula is net income minus dividend divided by debt plus equity. The denominator is same. Only thing the numerator we are subtracting the dividend also. ROIC values should exceed 2%. That means the company is creating value. If it is less than 2%, the company is actually destroying the value of the. Okay, so we have this figures of some of the key companies of RO. You can see here EBIT percent, PBT percentage, profit after tax, ROC, ROE. The first 3 companies which you are seeing, even the 4th one is also okay because the current year it is doing well. But the last 2 companies, the current position is not so good. You can see here, Zomato totally I discarded. But you can buy at a level when you find that in the next quarter or 2 quarters, it starts doing well. So Zomato, Godrej Properties, you can find this in, I have kept one more document open, site open, which is MarketSmith, and I can show you in MarketSmith also. In details. So somewhere if you want to do proper investing, you can see your key ratios here. Here are the key ratios. And you can see on the left hand side all the key ratios are there. So one glance through the key ratio is very important. Sometimes you will have some positives, some negatives, but that is important for you to make a proper judgment. If you don't do it, and if you just invest like CDSL, you can see the figures. A year before, it was not doing so well. But now it has started improving because COVID में business एकदम बढ़ गया है. You can see here the figures 3 years back, 4 years back, 5 years back was okay. But now, in the last 1 year, you can see the jump. So if I see this K column and I look at the figures below, you can see this K column, operating profit margin 61%, very good. Net profit margin 58%, excellent. Tax payout 22%, means out of the earning, 22% is going in tax. Interest coverage ratio means 12,000 times. What does it mean? उसके पास debt इतना छोटा है amount, so he is earning 12,000 times more than the debt. So excellent, it is as good as a debt-free company. Earnings per share, very good. P/E ratio, still this company is not very costly. It is still at 34 times. Okay, this is as of March 21. Just now it must be really high because the stock price has increased tremendously. So let's see the CDSL ka stock P/E ratio now. Okay, we can see oh yeah. CDSL. Per share has now become something 19.17. Okay. Now, whether it is fair value, overvalue, you can see the ROE also is increasing. The company is doing excellently well. It has got a lot of, now there is some problem also in this company, which will happen. It may happen. I'm saying it may happen. Like suddenly tomorrow the market crashes or business come over. For 2-3 months, we may have some kind of stagnancy in the market, like CDSL move nahi kar raha hai, because not many are doing business. Okay. Now CDSL is having other businesses also, and I have read recently that it is going into signature validating also. It has got the license, but there is another problem also, that KYC which it was doing, government has given license to other company also for doing the KYC. So you have to read the business aspects of many companies to know how far it will go and how much you can spend. So now I feel 36 से 60 पे आ गया है, so my stock P is quite high. But see my ROC 32, 25. Still face value is only 10. No? And if you see some other companies like what you say InfoEdge, आप डर जाएंगे 117. अरे ये कंपनी गिर गया तो, but this is company belonging to a growth industry. CDSL is nowadays belonging to a growth industry. तो वो तो ऊपर ही जा रहा है. Let us see FL. FL gave a lot of jatkas when it was having problems. See FL, it has come down. No, पहला तो 90 के ऊपर था. The stock price is now 5,060. See, happiest mind. $140. All my mid caps and small cap IT stocks are extremely expensive. But it does not mean that I will not buy it. Because if I don't buy it today, I will lose the chance to be in the next year, 5 years growth period. Now 10 में से 2 या 3 गलत भी जा सकेगा. Okay, but we'll have to take the risk if we want to do business. Okay, so that is what I was trying to show you today, and this is where I have stopped my presentation. Next time I will be doing leverage ratios and management efficiency ratios. उसके बाद उसके साथ मैं valuation भी ले लूँगा, because if I time permits I'll do that. And valuation is a good important thing, and we'll have to do some calculations. We'll see them also. Anything you want to know, anything, कुछ समझ नहीं पा रहा ऐसा कुछ. But I'll tell you truthfully, unless and until you spend time understanding and knowing it, you will not be able to do it. Then what you will do, you can do maximum is go and subscribe to some of the sites like Trendline, some 3,000, 4,000 per year, sorry. Then this fellow is costly. Market Smith is some 7, 8,000. Market Mojo is also some 12, 15,000. And what is this? Screener is cheap, around 4,900 something. I have not done to Screener because I get most of my details. This also gives you some information about the overall performance of the stock. So here you can see. So आप थोड़ा पैसा इन्वेस्ट करेगा और टाइम करेंगे तो it will be definitely useful to you. Okay. Now this valuation and durability and all you can see, you will have to spend some time and efforts, but it will help you to buy the right stocks. Buying the right stocks is very important. Okay. So I close my day for the anything you want to ask me, you can ask me, even personally also. And I have sent a message that if you want to know something about your portfolio, rebalancing, please ask me. I will keep it confidential. You may not send me the whole details. You can send me part of the details. But actually doing that is very important in this market. You should know where you should trim and what you should trim. Similarly for mutual funds also, there are some sites which are available where you can spend some money and time and you will be able to know whether your mutual funds are doing well. So all the best to you all. Anything you want to know, please let me know. Or can I close down?
Yes, can you please share the recording? This was very important. Very
Yeah,
nice.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Luckily मैंने recording आज पहले से मैंने
Yes, yes.
and I had
Thank you.
मैं last time भूल गया and it was a bad thing. I'll do the recording. I'll give you that. Okay.
Done. Yeah.
So these are very important things, but I'll tell you very truthfully, don't go by the major, like Godrej Properties was a buy when it was at 1300. Now, if you're looking as a swing stock, you can buy it. But if you're looking as a core portfolio, you have to be very careful because ये portfolio में है तो फिर आपका problem हो सकता है. So it is not that I like Godrej companies. I was a Godrej fellow once upon a time. But you can see the performance of the company. Financial strength is extremely poor. Valuation is also very expensive. 1 year में कंपनी ने इतना महंगा कर दिया स्टॉक तो आप बाय करेंगे? You can see, read this. So if it is less than 30, where it lies? Our stock is lying here too, and momentum में पॉजिटिव है. खाली मोमेंटम में पॉजिटिव है, बाकी तो वो नेगेटिव है. ये दो में रेड है और इसमें ग्रीन है. So see the score here. You can see ये दो में रेड है और इसमें ग्रीन है. Means what? Means you are buying something which you can be in trouble. It is not that the company is going to go down, but if the stock doesn't improve because of so many other factors, company is well managed, everything is good, but if the stock doesn't improve, then what can you do? You can end up into more trouble. Zomato में तो कुछ दिखेगा ही नहीं आपको. But still people are holding Zomato. It is nothing wrong because today many of us hold stocks which are not doing so well. Here it is not having any fundamentals, not eligible. Red. Expensive one means the most expensive stock. तो Godrej Properties में 3 था, अभी यहाँ 1 दिख रहा है. Means you are buying the worst from the expensive point of view. कंपनी ने कुछ भी नहीं किया, फिर भी आप बाय कर रहे हैं at 145, 150 level. And these big investors, they do all these things. Technically, it is bearish. Okay, you can see the stock. It went up to 149. It is 140. I will buy somewhere near 125 levels. That is what I had mentioned in my message also. ये लेवल के थोड़ा नीचे भी आएगा 3-6 महीने के बाद मैं बाय करूंगा because I am going to see whether the improvement in the losses are happening. Improvements in the losses meaning less loss it is doing. then I will buy. If it is not going to improve in the losses point of view, then it will become a dangerous buy. See the operating profit in this June quarter and March quarter. Revenue increase, expenses 845, 1220. So expenses are still more. Loss was 153 in March quarter, loss is 376. So ये double हो गया. 22% is my operating margin minus, here it has become minus 44. So what I have done? I have actually increased my losses. तो मैं buy करूंगा ये stock? बिल्कुल नहीं. Net profit. So please look at the quarter results of companies before plunging into buying stocks. And I'm telling you, be a little careful. I'm worried that suddenly you will find a correction because the big indicators like the Buffett and all, they are not wrong. Okay. I was seeing a stock program on CNBC, not on CNBC, on this Business Today, 10:30 in the night on India Today channel, which some American was there, and he was saying that India is extremely overpriced. The index should be somewhere near 15,500, 16,000 level. That time index was not even above 17, and now it has become 17,300 something. So please be careful. Trim your stocks which are not so good. थोड़ा पैसा कमा लो, थोड़ा कम कमाएंगे तो चलेगा, लेकिन नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए. चलो, let's go. End the day. God bless you all. Take care. Bye.
Thank you very much.